Florida does not have a personal income tax, but the retiree should not assume that by changing his domicile and not being present in New York for more than 183 days each year, he will automatically eliminate all New York income taxes. If he receives income from New York sources, he may still be subject to New York income taxes as a non-resident. In the full text for this session, I discuss the type of income that a retiree is likely to receive and whether it is subject to the payment of New York income taxes. If so, the retiree must file a New York non-resident income tax return. For example, New York will tax such items as distributable share of income from a former law or accounting partnership and rental income from New York real property. New York will not continue to tax income from annuities, dividends, and interest, even if from New York sources, unless the income is from property employed in a business, trade, profession, or occupation carried on in New York. For example, interest that the retiree receives from a New York savings account or dividends from a New York corporation will not be considered New York source income. Some retirees may be only semi-retired and may continue to perform some services in Florida for an employer in New York. With the use of fax machines, conference phones, emails, BlackBerries, and other devices, many individuals working in Florida can duplicate many services that previously had been performed at a New York office. The general rule is that a non-resident does not pay any New York taxes if none of the services are rendered in New York State. However, if some services are rendered in New York State and the services that are rendered in Florida are done for the semi-retiree's convenience, then those services are probably subject to New York tax as New York source income. In the full text, we discuss the tax treatment of severance pay, covenants not to compete, retirement income, exercise of stock options, and other payments that have some connection to New York. Thanks to federal legislation, the required minimum distribution from an individual retirement account is not considered New York source income, even though it was associated with actual performance of services in New York State. Please click on Audio Summary for Session 5.